Polymorphism and the principles of the delta phenomenon. The basis for an abstract model for unification is if to view the universe like an alternator. All properties are conserved in expression through polymorphism. Here, the dynamics of polymorphism are described. Generalized, the dynamics are referred to as a delta phenomenon which represents some object or entity with respect to states of expression in polymorphism. 1. The delta phenomenon is perceived as the basis of dimension that exists in a body. 2. It holds that in terms of the observance on an entity, a prior and future iteration of that entity will also exist, or the entity in its current state does not exist. 3. The delta phenomenon applies to an entity or a family of entities such that each may have a unique personification of the delta phenomenon, yet be part of the same delta phenomenon, for consequently, the delta phenomenon, although unique, can parallel itself. 4. Hence, a point of reference can be established from one category of existence to another through the relationship of uniqueness expressed through symmetry. As applied in the paradigm, these principles are considered an object-oriented model for evolution. They are detailed in the 4 laws. The 5 principles could be considered in the form of a cyclic paradigm similar to Mandelbrot sets, or a Sierpinski triangle. They are suited for an object-oriented model for the polymorphism of some entity. This is in terms of being cyclic and expressed in time and space. A delta which can represent any abstract entity as a body with respect to time and dimension can be thought to have the above principles as properties. Note how any 2 or more properties can be combined. They are thought to behave in a cyclic way where progression goes from principle 1, principle 4a, and then to a next cycle of differentiation as principle 1. As a model, the principles allow a body to have polymorphism through an inheritance of properties. This is meant to be from an earlier cycle where in each stage the entity being differentiated is expressed in terms of time and dimension. In fact, this offers Weinberg's singularity a basis for reason in juxtaposition to just observation and conjecture. Observations of truth is the basis for scientific law. Allowing it a framework or model of polymorphism for the isolated system enables reason for its conservation of properties. There is no assumption of a Big Bang as representing the beginnings of all beginnings, but polymorphism does make it plausible to have occurred. That is, even perhaps, quite a few.
Here's a detailed recap of the principles of the delta phenomenon with respect to evolution. 1. Dimensional basis. The delta phenomenon serves as the foundational basis of dimension within a body or entity. It suggests a fundamental dimensionality to existence, underlying the properties and states of entities as they evolve over time. 2. Coexistence of states. Evolution involves the coexistence of multiple states or iterations of an entity, including past, present, and future states. These states exist simultaneously, reflecting the non-linear nature of evolution and challenging traditional views of linear progression. 3. Unique personification. Each stage of evolution may have a unique personification or manifestation of the delta phenomenon. Despite these variations, they are all part of the same underlying phenomenon, reflecting the interconnectedness of evolutionary processes. 4. Parallel manifestations. Evolutionary processes can manifest parallel instances of the delta phenomenon across different entities or species. This indicates a form of multiplicity or simultaneous existence of evolutionary paths, highlighting the diversity and complexity of the evolutionary process. Overall, the principles of the delta phenomenon provide a framework for understanding the dynamics and interconnectedness of evolutionary processes. They offer insights into the underlying structure of evolution and the relationships between different manifestations of evolutionary change, challenging conventional views and opening new avenues for exploration and understanding.